law is not a one way traffic thing. The law is not just like a soldier standing with a gun. You must do it like this or not. The law is not very strict. Oh. The law is not a one way traffic thing. The law is not just like a soldier standing with a gun. You must do it like this or not. Now, when we look at our laws, there you will see some level of flexibility. This is because those who also make these laws are human beings like you and I, who also come under the purview of the same law. So you don't make laws, or laws are not made as if the people that are going to live by those laws are superhumans or are not human beings who are also liable to make mistakes. Okay. Now, when you find yourself in a situation where you have already concluded your registration, or you have submitted documents already for registration of your company, and then you discover that there is a step that I'm supposed to take, or there is something else that I was supposed to add to the objects of my company and I forgot to add it at this point. I want to take steps to add something or to remove something, or there's a statement that you have included in your statements of objects that you are no longer comfortable with it. You want to edit it, you want to remove it completely, or you want to bring in something new. What are you going to do? What does the law say under our company law practice in Nigeria? You, as a company owner, what are you expected to do? Are you just bound to continue with using that statement like that because you have already registered it with Corporate Affairs Commission, or there is an opening for you to make amendments under our law? Let's get right into it. So, as a business owner who has registered a company, you now find yourself in a situation where you don't want to continue with your statement of objects the way they are. Meanwhile, objects of a company are those scope of activities that the company uh, exists with, okay? The things that regulate the activities of that company within which that company operates, okay? So you now felt like, oh, I want to add something. Yeah, there's a new development, there's a new invention, there's a new area of interest. I want to include it to my object. Does the law allow you? Or there's something that you have already added, you don't want to venture into that area anymore. You want to take it out. Does the law make room for that? Yes. So when you look at the Companies and Allied Matters Act, which is the act that is made by the National Assembly in Nigeria to do what? Regulate registration of companies, activities of companies, and all that. You will look at section 35 under that act and you will discover that yes, there is some level of what? Flexibility. There is room for you to make alterations, there's need for you to remove, there's need for you to add. So when you make this type of amendment, you have to take steps to send notice to Corporate Affairs Commission. That is where you already registered your company. You take steps to notify Corporate Affairs Commission that look, I don't want to continue with this particular object, or I am okay with the objects of my company, but I want to add something else to those objects. Once you send that notice to Corporate Affairs Commission, they will now register, or they will now enter that information into their register. This means that the Corporate Affairs Commission has a register within their own office where they enter information relating to objects of companies. So they will enter this particular notice and say, yes, at so 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 time, this company either removed something or added something to their objects. Okay. Now, this change, any change that you make to the object of your company will not be effective until it has been entered into this register. So that you have amended your object and you have sent a notice to Corporate Affairs Commission does not mean that it is effective immediately. Its effectiveness can only come to force when they have entered that notice into this particular register that I'm talking about. Now, if you are already in course of business, the company is doing business, they have entered into agreements, contract, they are just in business doing their thing, and then they have created rights, they have created obligations and liabilities. The fact that that company took steps to amend its statement of claim will not affect the rights and liabilities or obligations that are already in existence. So that you will not turn around to say, I created these rights or these obligations existed when I still had this particular object that I've removed. So you cannot hold me responsible. Or when we created these obligations or these liabilities, this very object was not in place. No, it will not affect any right, not affect any liability, it will not affect any what obligation of the company. Furthermore, if you have now made this amendment and that company already has a legal proceeding going on in court, will the new amendment that you have made to your object affect or render the legal proceeding in court defective? The answer is no. It does not in any way make that proceeding defective. That proceeding is still valid and lawful under the law. You will go ahead, you will prosecute your matter, not minding, nor notwithstanding the fact that there is a recent amendment. Okay, I hope this helps. Like I always say, this is Xavier Law Essence here. We give you premium legal tips. We bring the law to you just the way the law is. This is a Monday, and this information is for those who are in the world of business, people who have registered their businesses are already carrying out the objects, the scope of operations, okay? Or for those who are also desirous that at a certain time they're also going to incorporate their own business, this information will come handy for you. Okay, so but if you are already in business, like I said earlier, and you think that there is a new area of interest that you want to venture in, you are not limited by the objects that you have already registered with the commission, except your articles of association has already created that limitation for you. This means that when incorporating a company, you must also pay keen attention to what you include in your articles of association, okay, so that you can enjoy this level of flexibility when it comes to the scope or establishing or setting up the objects of your company. This is Zerial Essence. We give you premium legal tips to help you make informed decisions, live informed life, and discover the best version of yourself. We'll see you again. Bye.